Hello and welcome to Rawr Reviews. I'm Andrew Jensen, video editor for The Argonaut. Beside me is Bradley Burgess, columnist for Rawr, and Aaliyah Erickson, the editor of Opinion for The Argonaut. Today we're reviewing Big Hero 6, the new feature from Disney Animation Studios that is about a boy and his inflatable robot, Baymax.
This is the first test of my robotics project. Stop. The 7th test.
This is Tadashi, my older brother.
33rd test. Wait, stop. This is the 84th test.
Hello, I am Baymax.
It works! Oh, this is amazing!
He wanted to help a lot of people. People keep saying Tadashi's not really gone, as long as we remember him.
Hello, I am Baymax. Tadashi programmed me to heal the sick and injured. You will be all right. There. I would like to help. Scan complete. You are experiencing mood swings. Diagnosis, puberty.
Whoa, what?
It's like spooning a warm marshmallow.
Reports are flooding in about a major catastrophe.
We're under attack from a supervillain, people!
Come on, go!
I am not fast.
Yeah, no kidding! So a man in a kabuki mask attacked you in Balloon Man.
We gotta catch him.
We can't go against that guy. We're nerds.
Trust me, I know about robotics. We can be way more.
Anybody else's suit riding up on him? Come on. Kick it down. Just punch it. No.
Why is Baymax wearing carbon fiber underpants?
This may undermine my non-threatening huggable design.
He's glorious.
I will just start off and say this was a terrific movie. I almost enjoyed every minute of it, but it was kind of a surprise. It was funny, it was charming, the animation was gorgeous. It was just all around a good film.
And that's part of the reason I kind of enjoy kids' films, because they have to be funny in a way that's not like really gross or really sexual. You can just enjoy it and get a good, clean laugh out of it. They came up with some unique jokes, some unique laughs. You know, it's not something I've really seen a lot of.
Yeah.
Well, most of the problem, some kids' movies, they kind of it's like the jokes are either like all talk, or like the kids probably won't pay a lot of attention to that, or it's like just for the kids, or it's just complete slapstick, or like adults probably won't laugh at that. This kind of had a pretty even mix of both. Like if the slapstick was funny, the jokes that weren't slapstick were like good. They were good enough so that adults and kids could laugh at them.
They have some really, really funny scenes in there, and I have to admit I haven't found myself laughing at a movie like that in so long. Like I hear lots of time, like with Guardians of the Galaxy, even though it's a good movie, I didn't find myself laughing at it as much. With the animation in this, it's like it's colorful and it's creative.
It was designed well enough.
Well, and I wanted to move on to some problems I have with the movie, because it wasn't a perfect movie. It's gotten a lot of praise from critics, but I think there are some things I didn't particularly care for the villain. Now, you can't really reveal the villain, but the motivation just wasn't there, I didn't think. It was kind of phoned in a little bit, because they introduced these plot elements that really didn't exist before, and I don't know. I didn't feel like that was legit. I didn't really feel like, oh yeah, that makes sense that he's the villain, you know. So that didn't really mesh with me. Another thing was, it's not a spoiler here. One of the characters dies really early in the movie. It's Hero's brother. Not only are his parents dead, like every other Disney movie, but his brother has to die for some reason. Why does his brother have to die?
I kind of saw purpose. It kind of reminded me kind of a Spider-Man. Like there has to be that death that motivates you to become a superhero.
Well, and I was really disappointed in that. Yes. It's like, why don't they? I mean, I can understand maybe having a little bit of a tragic backstory, but why do they have to go all in?
No,
because it could have been so awesome. The brothers could have like worked together, made some cool gadgets.
They kind of built that up a little bit at the start.
They did, and I wanted to see more of that, because I like seeing them work off each other. They had great chemistry, and
but that's the point. If they kill the character off and you care and you don't want him to die, you're doing your job right.
But are you though? I mean, like, I mean, there's a fine point there too, because Disney does this constantly, and I want to see these relationships more. Because like we've had something like this in like with Brave, even though it wasn't a good movie, they at least had like the mother-daughter relationship there.
Or Frozen,
which had the sisters. Like I wanted to see, like it would have been nice to see the brother more. What would you all rate it from 1 to 10?
I give it a 9. I do agree it does have one or two things, but at the end of the day, I didn't care. Like this was an enjoyable enough movie that honestly, it's really hard to walk out of this movie and not just be like, oh my god, I just had such a good time.
Personally, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It was a really good animated movie, but I feel like I've seen better movies. So if you want something that's adorable and, you know, maybe a little bit heartwarming, this is your ticket. But you have other choices. So overall, 7 out of 10.
I'd probably go with an 8 out of 10. It's really hard not to like this movie.
Yeah.
It's really tough, and after I watched, I was trying to nitpick it just to see if there's any, like, does it fall apart? But it really doesn't. I couldn't think of anything that was terribly done about it. But like any film, it could have been better, I think.
It had enough positives to really merit.
And it's a great kids movie, and I love seeing great kids movies.
Harry baby. Harry baby.
And I guess before we forget, there is an end credit scene, but we basically took a vote, and it's not really worth it.
No,
if you're
I think
a comic
it's one
book
of the
fan,
one of the worst end credit scenes
honestly,
since Iron Man 3.
I would have said 4. I hated the end credit scene for 4, but
it wasn't too bad. And possibly the worst Stan Lee cameo. I mean, it was fine, but then they extended it in the end credit scene. Like, no. In any case, it doesn't ruin the movie. So.